Look at this. Look at this. See that? Physically grabbing her, applying pressure, pushing her. Look at Brittany Griner.
The Golden Goose, ratings magnet, and woman who single-handedly pulled women's basketball from obscurity, Caitlin Clark, has been seen in new film to sustain an injury. And believe me when I say that what we're witnessing is absolutely repulsive, not simply disappointing. Bullying is a concern in the WNBA, and their biggest star was just the most recent casualty of a league that doesn't seem to know how to safeguard its own meal ticket.
Player that's worth paying the money for. Caitlin Clark comes along. What do, WNBA? You beat her up. You treat her like crap. You treat her like she's dog doo-doo, dude. I never seen this in any sport, bro. Not even Jordan.
This is the tea that no one in the league office wants you to drink. Caitlin Clark had more than just a quadricep soreness when she woke up. During a casual warm-up, she didn't pull anything or trip over her shoelaces. No, players who appear to be more interested in playing WWE than basketball deliberately targeted her, fouled her, grabbed her, shoved her, and beat her down. Additionally, the referees observed it as if they were being bribed to turn a blind eye.
Caitlin Clark has been moving in slow motion. As good as she's been moving in slow motion. And it is, it makes sense. It genuinely makes sense. All of this stuff. And you've got Scott Agnes, a reporter, saying that the injury has been bothering her since training camp. So she's been playing. So essentially, she was massaging the area and wearing a pad during the Iowa preseason game. They're saying lower leg injury for some reason. Minor quad strains need 2 to 4 weeks of rest, and they can nag you.
The Indiana Fever declared on May 26, 2025, that their star guard would be out for at least 2 weeks due to a strained left quadricep. At the very best, that's 4 games in a minimum of 2 weeks. However, anyone with half a brain is aware that muscular injuries don't happen in a timely manner. This could go on for 3 weeks, a month, or more.
People are noting that a grade 1 quad strain is 1 to 2 weeks, a grade 2 quad strain is 3 to 6 weeks, and grade 3s would need surgery. This is not like the end of the world of injuries at all. I think what is so dark about this is that Caitlin Clark will definitely be missing a lot of basketball in a short WNBA season. Obviously, the best thing to do is to rest her so that when she does come back, she is fully healed and the injury can't get worse. Though it is hard to measure when these types of injuries are better, I will say having a quadricep injury is much better than having like a calf injury or a hamstring injury. And I have to say that I did notice in the Liberty game, Caitlin Clark's shots were all very short. So it was showing that she wasn't like getting off and she was having a difficult time making those threes, and a lot of explosiveness from those 3-point shots does come from your legs. Her shot was just so obviously off, and for it to be short, it kind of makes a little sense.
The new footage presents an entirely different picture, despite the Fever's attempts to minimize this as simply another injury. Clark is seen during the Atlanta Dream game in the smoking gun footage. You are aware of the game where spectators yelled, "You're in Atlanta," as if Assault had a home field advantage of some sort. In this video, player after player makes contact with Clark in manner that would cause a linebacker to blush. Physical contact that has nothing to do with basketball and everything to do with intimidation, such as pushing, grasping, and exerting pressure. This was not a game of basketball. The biggest star in the league was deliberately targeted. Additionally, it was permitted to take place during the day.
Look at this. Look at how physical they are. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark has been in the weight room this season, but I'm telling you right now, there is only so much your body can take, man. Look at how close Ryan Howard playing her. This is crazy. And this is just one video. I got another one I want to show you guys as well.
This is where things start to become very interesting, though. Clark has reportedly been using heating pads on her quad during games for weeks, possibly since preseason 10, according to a number of sources, including fans who witnessed games. Take a moment to consider that. The woman, who had played 185 straight games between Iowa and the WNBA and hadn't missed one since 2017, was actually playing through an ailment that needed heating pads to function. And the referees let her to be pummeled night after night until her body finally had enough, rather than defending her or flagging the apparent fouls.
The commissioner's the worst commissioner in sports. She is horrible. She wants rivalries, this WWE style. Like, nobody wants to see that, Kathy. You're a horrible commissioner. You know what? Have some dignity and just resign today. You ruined this thing. You ruined a great thing. This could be the first time you don't need the NBA assistants to go in the green. But you're going to go in the red this year because you're an idiot. You're stupid, and the fans don't like this shit. We want to see quality basketball. Nobody's asking for Caitlin Clark to get a handout. We just want to see some fair refereeing, because these referees from Temu and Wayfair, they're garbage, bro. I seen better refereeing at a Pee Wee game, bro, at AAU. They suck. And then on top of that, the players, they're just not likable, man. They're not. That's the problem with the league. They're not likable. Caitlin Clark's likable.
Please subscribe if you're having fun. The timing of this injury couldn't be worse for the WNBA, and to be honest, they deserve all of the financial hardship that lies ahead. Since numbers don't lie, as WNBA officials seem to, let's talk about them. Caitlin Clark appeared in 21 of the 24 WNBA broadcasts that had at least 1 million viewers in 2024. 21 of 24. The average number of viewers for games including Clark was 1.19 million, compared to a pitiful 394,000 for those without her. That's not the only distinction. That's what separates a successful league from a struggling afterthought. We are already witnessing the direct effects. The cost of tickets for the eagerly awaited rematch between Clark and Angel Reese have fallen by 42%, decreasing after the injury announcement from an average of $137 to $80. That is more than just a price reduction. It's a crash in demand. Additionally, it is taking place in real time. The WNBA is being told by the market exactly what they won't acknowledge. The attraction is Clark. People care because of Clark, and without Clark, interest fades more quickly than Angel Reese's chances of making the playoffs.
Guys, today, if there wasn't any worry going on in the WNBA executive offices, if there was no worry, oh, people aren't going to turn off, oh, people are still going to show up, if that was the thought that they were having up there in WNBA La La Land, well, now might be the time to hit the panic button. 48 hours after news hits that Caitlin Clark is injured and she'll be missing 2 weeks, the market has responded, and the market has told the WNBA, we don't want this. We want her, but we don't want this. What am I talking about? Indiana Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement, an average ticket price of $137, all the way down to $80.
When Stephen A. Smith stated that he's very interested in seeing how the ratings will look without her over the next 2 weeks, he was spot on. If those ratings decline, which they will, it will show how reliant this league is on one player, the same player they failed to protect. According to Smith, if there's a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated. With 2.7 million viewers, the most recent Clark vs. Ree game was the highest watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. At its peak, the game had 3.1 million of viewers. For the WNBA, those are Super Bowl caliber figures. Numbers they haven't seen on NBC since the league's inception. They are now going to discover what happens when you remove the only player that viewers genuinely pay attention to.
How big of a blow is this to the W?
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings, because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated.
However, let's discuss the actual offense, the officiating. Coach Stephanie White described it as egregious and noted that our squad has been treated with tremendous disrespect lately. She noted that we're attacking the rim rather than only shooting threes, pointing out a -31 free throw disparity in previous games. Translation: Every time Clark drives to the basket, she is pummeled, and the referees are blowing their whistles. This issue was perfectly captured in the final play versus the New York Liberty. On the last possession of the game, Natasha Cloud made direct contact with Clark, contact that would have been necessary for any other elite player and any another coworker. With the game on the line, the refs simply watched Clark get mugged. When Clark realized there would be no call, she turned to the officials right away and began yelling. Her teammates even went over to the referees to voice their disapproval, but nothing happened. Officials seem to believe that basketball should be a contact sport, as seen by their radio silence. This goes beyond poor officiating. Clark is beaten. The league will lose millions of dollars in viewership, attendance, and credibility as a result of that pattern. The video from several games depicts Clark being shoved, grabbed. The referees have created a habit of not calling Clark. Players are specifically targeting her with the knowledge that they can get away with it. Clark's quad injury is an unavoidable consequence of everyone taking advantage of the biggest talent in the game.
But if anything, this should be a lesson to the league and a lesson to the officiating, because the amount of contact that is allowed without a foul call and the amount of physicality that Caitlin Clark has to battle through being double teamed and triple teamed, and honestly it's mostly just not being called for these fouls, needs to be assessed. Caitlin Clark is the league's star player, whether you like it or not. It shows in the bottom line, it shows in the revenue, it shows in the viewership numbers. Every which way you turn, it shows. And as the league's star player, she should not be bullied around or ragdolled, just pushed around like she is. There is an undeniable disparity in the officiating. I mean, think about the Kobe whistle in the NBA. No one touched him without an issue.
This is what makes it even more annoying. For an unknown amount of time, Clark has been playing through this ailment. She was struggling with quad problems while still dressing up and giving her best performance, as the heating pad film demonstrates. In her first 4 games of the 2025 season, she led the league with 9.3 assists per game and averaged 19.0 points, while relying solely on one strong leg. That goes beyond toughness. That is incredible commitment to a league that obviously doesn't value what it has. Let's be truthful about Clark's contributions to this league that go beyond her basketball prowess. She has produced a phenomenon that goes beyond athletics. Her preseason match at Iowa against 1.3 million people watched Brazil drew. Since 2010, just 2 NBA games on ESPN have had identical numbers. LeBron James is featured in both a preseason matchup with Brazil. These are the kinds of data that unlock corporate checkbooks, shift teams, and win over new supporters. Because it included Clark, ESPN made the historic choice to broadcast a WNBA preseason game for the first time ever. This year, 41 of the Fever's 44 regular season games will be aired nationally. That's not typical. That is an example of the Caitlin Clark effect. All of that momentum will now run into a brick wall for at least the next 2 weeks, if not longer.
There is literally footage of Caitlin Clark putting heat compression towards her leg. There is literally footage of her putting heat packs on her leg. There is new footage of her heating up her quad when she's playing. And by the way, people have been at games. I've been getting, if you look like my comment section, I don't read my comment section that much, I'm going to be honest, but some of the times where I have read my comment section, people have genuinely been like, I'm at the game, Caitlin Clark does not look right on the sideline. Caitlin Clark is coming out, she has heat compression on her quad. She was playing injured. Beyond
only television ratings, Clark's absence has a significant economic impact. Following Clark's drafting, Visit Indy reported a 501% increase in visits to their Fever-specific website. Indianapolis hotel reservations are directly correlated with Fever home games. Because of the interest Clark generates, a $75 million practice facility is being built. There is more to this than just basketball. This concerns a whole economic ecosystem that centers on a single participant. There will soon be a drought in that ecosystem, and it is completely avoidable. The WNBA only needed to safeguard their investment. They only needed to give their referees instructions to call fouls when players targeted, shoved, and grabbed their biggest star. All they needed to do was treat Clark with the same deference as other elite athletes. Rather, they allowed her to be mauled until her body disintegrated. This injury is made much more terrible by the forthcoming timetable. Everyone was eager to see the rematch between the Chicago Sky and the Fever, the rivalry that is boosting viewership. Instead, while the real draw recovers from injuries that could have been avoided, they witness Angel reattempting to promote her brand against supporting cast members.
We're looking at $875 million could easily eclipse $1 billion on her economic impact. Caitlin Clark entering the league last year was responsible for 26.5% of all of their economic activity. So revenue from merchandise, which again, with the CBA as it is currently, she doesn't see a dime of any of that. TV, and then ticket sales, obviously, which again, they don't get anything from that. We know that wherever she goes, she's selling out arenas. The ticket prices skyrocket. Like even trying to get tickets to Carver Hawkeye Arena when they played the Brazilian national team at her old school was just insane prices. If she's going on the road, wherever she's going, ticket sales jump by 140%. Average is $312. Like that's crazy.
The MVP contest, in which Clark was the pre-announcement betting favorite, is also impacted by her injury. Her odds instantly fell from even money to plus 150 at DraftKings and plus 210 at FanDuel. That goes beyond simply altering the betting lines. That's the market realizing that, regardless of how effectively Clark was performing, her absence seriously hinders her prospects of receiving individual recognition. The fact that this injury run puts an end to Clark's extraordinary resilience is especially troubling. Since 2017, when she was a sophomore in high school, she has never missed a game. Consider that. Playing basketball for 8 years without missing a single game, from high school to college to the advantages. Not only is that amazing, but it's unheard of in contemporary basketball. And it ended because the WNBA didn't care enough to keep its most important player safe. This is a crucial test for the league. Will they solve the officiating issues that caused this injury by using Clark's absence as a wake-up call? Will they finally admit that it is detrimental to business to let players attack their biggest star? Or will they keep acting as though Clark's experience was only a part of the game?
Oh no, and what does that overall do to the WNBA? This is your time to shine, ladies. I mean, the ladies of the WNBA have whined and moaned that it's not about one person. Well, okay, for a couple weeks, right here in the middle of it, you get a chance to prove that it's not only about one person. I don't know that that's great for the WNBA. Maybe the WNBA gets a little lesson in the importance of Caitlin.
You can feel the irony. Through a mix of foul play and inept officiating, a league that sorely needs stars, attention, and money enabled its biggest player to sustain an injury. They will now discover what the WNBA is like without Caitlin Clark. It won't be attractive either. The WNBA needs to have found out how to keep Clark safe when she returns, which should happen sooner rather than later. Because they will discover how quickly a basketball league can become unimportant again if this occurs again, and they continue to let their golden goose get targeted and hurt. The video is available. The trend is obvious. The outcomes are foreseeable. The question now is whether the WNBA will learn from this very preventable catastrophe, or if they will keep allowing their brightest star to be harassed until there is nothing left to save. For a league that neglected to safeguard its most valuable asset, the next 2 weeks will undoubtedly be a painful reality check.